Hello everybody, welcome to ERL F1 here for the German Grand Prix. We've just passed the halfway point of the season. I think we will do during this race actually. And yeah, watching Michael as usual, first out of the pits. But it starts lap. So, I'm your commentator Owen White, and with me is Austin.
Hello everyone, we are here at my home track, my home race of Germany at the Hockenheimring. A very storied track it is, built first in 1932, so we're getting close to those 100 years, only 14 left to go. Obviously the track went through a lot of changes. If you remember the old Hockenheimring, well, originally it was a triangle course, that was literally the name in 1932. Then they changed it to the track that we knew in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s with the going through the forest with a couple of chicanes there, but very high speed obviously. And then now we have this track the way it is, much shorter, down from what used to be a almost 7 kilometer track to only 4.5. The track that is being used here for F1 and pretty much for any racing on the Hockenheimring. There is also a national circuit, a short layout, but yeah, the old Hockenheimring doesn't even exist anymore. If you try to go through the forest, there is nothing. There is just a forest, no more racing, no more tarmac or anything. So, yeah, that was the fate.
Just a shadow of the former track. I think there's still
I think it's more beautiful.
There is still the outline. You can still see sort of the outline of the track, though, right? Like,
not really, actually.
No?
No, there is no indication whatsoever
Oh.
in the forest. You can only see part of the former track that is still part of the track. That's the only part you can see.
I'm sure there's
when we get to the infield, the Sachs corner, the south corner, north corner, turn 1. You can still see that, but then it changes very rapidly, and you really cannot see anything, and that was only 16 years ago. But there is no indication whatsoever anymore that there used to be a racetrack going through the forest.
Jeez.
The tarmac is completely gone. There's some trees that have grown there in the meantime. It's gone.
What a
for
sad
good.
fate.
Well, it is the way it is. Such is the new era of the Formula One, where the tracks need to be a bit more modern, where you can't just drive through a forest and not see the cars for a minute. Because that was the fate back in the day, because there were no stands in the forest. There was just a couple of cameras. It was interesting for the TV viewers, but if you were on site at the track, you couldn't see anything until they came back out of the forest and into the infield, into the Sachs corner, Egypt corner, before the turn. What used to be the turn 12 now is turn 11 and called Mobile 1 corner. Until then, you didn't know anything. The Mercedes Arena didn't exist. The Parabolica, the hairpin didn't exist. So, yeah. A lot has changed here, but I think it is still a pretty good looking track.
So we do have some laps coming in, by the way. It's currently medium pilot on top from Alice Killer, then Michael, but of course they have all done their laps on medium so far. So expect the proper lap times to come around now, because as you can see, there's Michael out on the track on his ultras. So yes.
Yeah, however, so the 3 tire compounds that we have available here, for those that don't know, are the Ultra Soft, the Soft, and the Medium. So we are skipping one compound, the Super Soft. We are skipping that. So there's a very, very soft compound tire that is the Ultra Soft. And then we have 2 race tires, if you want to call it that, the Soft and the Medium. The Ultra Soft is not a viable race tire. It lasts about 6 laps
Oh,
And for comparison, this race is
34.
34 laps long, so
Oh, Michael
not
White.
even
Could be a track limit, sir.
not even a fifth of the race distance is what you can cover with the Ultra Softs. So the Ultra Softs enable you to run a two-stop strategy and avoiding the medium tire, though. So you can run Ultra Soft, 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 but you cannot do a one-stop. If you want to run the one-stop, you want to qualify on the softs and then go on the mediums, or if you're outside the top 10, obviously the other way around, you start on the mediums and then go on to the softs if you want to run the counter strategy. But I have seen some very interesting stuff. I've looked at the F2 and F3 races, very different in terms of how the qualifying went. In the F3, 9 out of the top 10 cars qualified on the Ultra Soft. In the F2...
Flying Finn has just equaled Medium Pilot's time. My god.
No, there's 1,000th on my screen at least. There's 1,000th behind them, or between them.
On mine,
112.021 and 112.022.
On my screen, they're exactly equal. I've got the plus minus. I've got the plus minus thing. That's mad.
Oh wait, that. Oh yeah, they are the plus minus. Yeah, I've got the fastest lap, so there seems to be 1,000th, but less than 1,000th. So whatever is behind the 112.021 of Medium Pilot is a higher number than what is behind the 112.022 of Flying Finn. That is amazing.
That is unbelievable. And Michael,
so less than half a tenth actually between them.
Yeah, Michael had to pit, so he's currently in P5. You know, dizzying heights for the rest of the field here, but Michael, yeah, not liking that low position.
I have to say though, these times right now, apart from I would say Flying Finn.
Is that Dutch Strix facing the wrong way? It is. Wonder how he's managed that. Oh dear.
Yeah, these tires, or these times on these tires right now don't mean anything apart from, I would say, Flying Finn and Alper, who've set their laps on the softs.
Yes.
But other than that, everyone set their lap times on the mediums. They're all gonna switch to the softs, or maybe even the ultras. That would be interesting if someone tries to gamble,
Medium
runs
on
a 6-lap stint on the ultras, goes into the pits, takes the softs, and then takes the softs again. Interesting to see if someone decides to go for these tires instead. But I expect, since almost everyone is on the mediums here with the lap time, and no one has even really touched the Ultra Soft. Well, a few have touched it, but no one tried to even set a fast lap on them. I expect that we're going to see everyone, just like in the F2 race, everyone trying to qualify on the soft compound tire, on the middle tire.
Well, currently, Medium Pilot's went out there on ultras. Michael's out there on ultras. Cliffy's gone quickest there on softs. Flying Finn in the pits wanted to go into the ultras as well. So a lot of people taking that gamble. Interestingly, they're the only 3 on them at the moment, apart from Kalik, who's down in 17th. So yeah, that's quite surprising.
It is, but obviously some people are going to take the gamble because they want to give themselves a good position at the start. Turn 1 and turn 2.
Oh, Kalik out.
Oh.
Well, he said his target in the chat was P20. He's probably going to get that now, so whoop, whoop, whoop.
Nah, Zach would have to improve, and Lakito and Jay need to set times.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that unrealistic. I think this sounds like something that is very, very much reachable for Kalik.
Yeah, good job for him. And Michael in the pits again. So that
I have to say, I find it pretty smart from Kalik to say, you know what, I'm totally fine with getting P20 and just looking at the carnage from behind and just trying to avoid it, drive through it, and just, you know, keep it cool, keep it calm, and just let the race play out itself. Because turn 1, the north curva, Pretty tough corner for turn one, really.
Yeah.
Almost no braking, but I mean, it can get dicey there. And then turn two, well, almost hairpin, I would say. It's this very hard braking zone. That's where it can all kick off even more. Plus, don't forget the straight between turn 1 and 2 is very, very slim, let's say. Very, very thin. No, I think you need to have a mutual understanding if you want 3 cars to go side by side there. 2 is going to work out, but even that can get a little bit difficult at times. But 3, only if all drivers are on the same page, which rarely ever happens. So, it really narrows down. The track narrows down out of turn 1, and that causes a lot of collisions. So I think that is going to be the one of the spots to look at for the start for the first lap. Turn 1, out of turn 1, I would count that as 2 different spots because of the way the track is, and the track has been built. And then turn 2, obviously the braking zone as well. So 3 spots within what, less than 500 meters?
Basically,
where
on lap 1,
huge crash potential.
Yeah, lap 1, just get your halos at the ready, really.
Oh yeah, and make sure you're not hanging in your car like a cow.
Yeah, make sure you've got your roll cage nice and strong on your car. Look at you, Michael.
Well, the roll cage and the halo are 2 different things. Don't forget that.
Well, they're very important either way.
They're both. Yeah, I agree. They're both very important, but they're 2 different things. The halo is not part of the roll cage as that. The roll cage is the thing behind the driver.
Yes.
Well,
you could get smacked into your halo, and the momentum could flip you over, so you could end up needing both of them.
That is accurate. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying they're 2 different things. But meanwhile, Dutch Tricks retiring from the session in P11. I think he might actually be pretty happy. Okay, now he's down to P12, but I think he might be pretty happy with that position, because that gives him free tire choice. But looking at the top 10 right now, no one qualified on the Ultrasoft yet.
Flying Finn, 1 corner to go, and he pits, so he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. No one's doing it. Cliffy's in the pits considering it. Michael's out there on the sauce at the moment, and I imagine he will actually finish this lap this time. So we need 7 tenths to get on a par with Matt, who's currently on pole.
Alper also went into the pits again on the Ultrasoft, so it seems like they were all just faking it.
That's the 2nd time they've done that in the session. Some, I think, even the
I mean,
third.
they do have 2 sets of Ultrasofts, even if they opt for the harder distribution, which would give them 2 Ultrasofts, 1 soft and 1 medium. So,
well, here comes Michael. This is going to be a
can
good
do
time.
that.
Is it pole? Yes, by 6.
It is provisional pole.
Only 6 100s, so don't panic yet.
JB22 puts himself in 3rd position. Very good lap from him here.
Very nice lap.
Less than a 10th behind Michael, which is a feat in and of itself.
Here's Technique Gaming. He's
we
a
have
very
to
good
say
driver.
that. Matt in... Oh, no, wait. Sorry. ILR Shadow puts himself in 4th position now.
Good man.
And Lakitu puts himself in 4th position. So now they're really dropping their hot laps into the standings.
Haven't seen much from Marquez, have we, in this session? He's out there currently in P13 only.
Sorry, I need to interrupt. Cliffy is back out on Ultrasofts.
Yes.
Cliffy is... I mean, look, you do you, man, but
Cliffy is a very quick driver. He knows what he's doing, like, but just have to see if he can get on pole with it.
Yes, but he would, oh, he already went too deep into turn 1. That is probably going to be an invalidated lap time.
Oh, dear.
Let's see if it was.
Michael even quicker.
That doesn't show yet. Yes, it is an invalidated lap time, in fact. And he is saving some ERS down to 0. But ERS isn't the issue right now. Tire wear is. as he is on the Ultra Softs.
Marquez has
However,
got
he still
his,
does have his soft lap time, so that puts him in P8 right now. So there's a chance.
Marquez
Needs
is
to let
going
other people
very
by.
quickly right now on his lap.
As JB has retired from the session, and Technique as well. And Dutch has dropped all the way down to P18, so his lap time on the softs wasn't as good as he hoped it would be. So he's now down with Calic pretty much. P18, P19, and XJ still has a lap to set.
Button lap of session, JB22. Oh,
Let's hope he
Marquez
can
just a bite.
rejoin Shadow. Shadow retired.
Marquez then, he's only in 7th, but he's on his lap. He's had a lot of traffic to deal with. He's got Michael behind him, who was backing off. I don't know if he's going to go for another lap. Matt's out there on a lap, I think, on Ultras. It's Medium Pilot, who's just 1/10 off pole. Here's Marquez for the last turn. Is it going to be pole position for him? Coming to the line. No, it's P6. And Matt, let's see what he's doing. To the line, he starts his lap now. Cliffy's out there. He's already done a lap on these, so he's going to go again, and it's an absolutely brilliant first sector time. That is certainly a pole position quality as Michael pits.
And XJ comes to the line, and he puts himself into 10th place, so that means Calic is now dead last. So he has earned his position all the way at the back of the field,
Lakitu,
as he intended to.
Lakitu in second, great for him. Flying Finn out there on Ultras as well as Alper. I don't think any of them are going too quickly though. I don't see them beating Michael at the moment, but really it's all about the middle sector, I guess, really, for Grip, and the last sector. So we'll see how they do there. But I think Michael's currently got this.
We're going to have to wait and see, though. There is a lot of time to be gained or lost in the later part of this track, in the later part of a lap. So we still have Matt on the Ultra Soft. We still have Flying Finn on the Ultra Soft.
No, he doesn't. He backs off on the line. Oh, cheeky bugger. Getting the screen time. That's all he's there for, isn't it? Flying Finn, he sort of needs this lap time. Alper goes quickest.
On the Ultra Soft.
Flying Finn backs off as well. So Alper.
Yeah, Flying Finn made a mistake out of the Sachs corner, so he decided that wasn't a good enough lap for him. He'd rather have 16th place and a free tire choice than having a mediocre lap and being stuck on the Ultra Soft. So that was a strategic call there. That was not, I wouldn't say that was cheeky, but that was more strategic as he made a mistake on that lap. And imagine if he puts himself in between ERL, Shadow, and Zach, where there's just over 1/10 of space in between the two, and he starts in P9 on the Ultra Softs. Yeah, that's not where you want to be with the Ultra Softs, really.
Even though Alper is 7/10 clear on pole position, he is, I believe, the only guy to set the time on Ultras. So he's absolutely and completely screwed over himself. Unless it's a safety car. Unless it's a safety car. Unless it's something like that.
No, even then not, because think about that. All the other cars behind him will have to use the mediums at least once, because they're not using the Ultra Softs in the race, but he is going to race, what, 28 of the 34 laps? Maybe even 30, depending on when he comes into the pits. How early he comes into the pits. He's going to have the majority of his race run on the softs, and he's going to come into the pits early, lap 4, 5, 6, so he's not going to have a lot of traffic once he comes out of the pits. He's just going to he's just going to drive freely, whereas everyone else, he hopes at least, is going to be battling away, except for maybe Michael, because we know Michael's just going to drive away as always.
But Alper's tires are going to be absolutely overheating like mad by lap 3. That's the issue. He'll be overheating like mad. He will almost certainly...
If they are overheating, why would he set a lap time on the Ultra Softs? I think
he would almost certainly, in my opinion. I don't think he'd be leading when it comes to the
There are
pits.
ways to keep tire temperature under control, and I'm pretty sure Alper has got this figured out. But let's go through the grid before the start. We are on the formation lap, and Alper put his Sauber on pole position right in front of the championship leader, VGIA Michael, in second. SOR Lakitu in third, followed by Medium Pilot in the McLaren. The third row of the grid is made up of Matt and JB22 in P5 and P6, followed by VSR Marquez and ILR Shadow P7 and P8. T1000 Zach, the race winner of his home Grand Prix in France 3 weeks ago, he put his Red Bull in P9, and the final car in the top 10 is TTG Ollie in the Haas. You want to take the second part, Owen?
Yeah. Row 6 is with Jay and Slimbo Dude. And it's important to note that Jay is on mediums. Tom Killer is 13th with Clippy, 14th. Yeet out there in 15th with Blind Finn, who was on a pole position lap but he backed off. He's in 16th, and 17th and 18th is Alice Killer and Technique Gaming. And the final row is Dutch Tricks and Kalak, who met his goal of P20 perfectly. He wants P19 in the race, so I would say he's got quite actually a challenge, because there might be a lot of death happening at turn 1, and he may.
Well, he would have to be the second driver to die, otherwise he doesn't get P19.
Well, anyway, here's Alper then on the grid. He's on pole. He's got 2 steps softer tires, so you would expect him to be miles ahead into turn 1. But we'll see. They're all lining up.
We're gonna have to wait for this. I wouldn't make any predictions right now. Turn 1 is always crazy here.
Yeah, well, here we go then. They're all on the grid. They're ready to go. The lights are on here in Germany for the German Grand Prix. Here in F1's here. They're away and predicts to be a great start as Lakitu. It's really poor. Yeah. He's going to fall right down the grid. Alper leads into turn 1. 2 or 3 abreast back there as well for the Red Bulls. And they're okay with the Renault there as well. Matt up to P3. Decent start, but he's got Medium Pilot on his inside. Keeps that position, I think, does the Haas. So good start from him, but terrible off the line for Lakitu. And now a great run, though, up towards the hairpin. We'll see who comes out on top there, but it's Alper currently in the lead with Michael in hot pursuit. And there you can see.
I've been looking at the back of the field, and everything went well so far, which is just astonishing to see, because this track doesn't really make for clean races or clean starts, at least. But no, everyone behaved. AZR Yeet was the only one who suffered a little bit, lost 5 positions from 15th to last right now, all the way down in P20 where he's battling with Technique. But other than XJ also lost a couple of positions from 11 to 15, but he's on the mediums, as you said, so that is to be expected, that you lose some positions at the start and in the first corners when you're very vulnerable, let's say, on these hard compound.
So Alper
the medium tire.
So Alper needs to start building that gap then to Michael before his tires start to overheat and get into a bit of trouble. Because obviously Michael's not really going to have that problem for a long time, if at all. So yeah, he should.
And so far he already has 1.2 seconds, so he's doing a good job there. And it seems like he does have a setup that is a bit more focused on high speed, on top speed, than it is on
oh no,
ability.
Contact and Marquez is round. He was fighting with JB, I think. He got past him, and on the exit there was contact, and down into last place then goes Marquez, and that's a real shame.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
He's gonna throw his 6th or 7th PS4 out the window after this.
If I was living anywhere near him, I would just build up a camp under his window, just, you know, catching the PS4. Hey, free PS4.
Yeah.
You know.
You can make him be shot from all the PS4s he's shot out of the window. No damage by the looks of it for Button, by the way. He's down in 12th, so yeah, out of the points, but not out of the race.
Yeah. Alper didn't increase the gap at all to Michael in the last lap. It was a 114.7 for him and well, 114.9 for Michael. So well, it is 2/10, but that's not enough. That rate is not enough. He needs to. Alper needs to pick it up a little if he wants to have some kind of chance here with the Ultra Softs. But I feel like at the end of lap 3, the tire wear might be down to a point, or might be up rather, to a point where he's starting to lose time on Michael. Right now, Michael is not in the DRS window, still just over a second. But he is, I have to say this, Alper is doing a good job of building a gap to P3, to Matt. That gap is up to 2.6 seconds. Maybe it's just that maybe we have to discard Michael in that when we look at Alper, because Michael, we know, is just otherworldly, really. And so maybe we have to discard him in that regard and look at Matt in P3 instead, because maybe that's the fight that Alper wants to fight, and he says, you know what, Michael's gonna win anyway, but P2 would be pretty nice.
He's trying to pull away
You know,
here again.
after...
Look, the gap is up to 1.3 there, very briefly. So he still has...
Yeah, but it always comes down back to 1.2. It always is between 1.0 and 1.3 seconds, never goes higher.
Sorry to interrupt, medium pilot, DRS
no
blast pass into P3. And that was very easy for him, in fact. He's got Lakiti still there. And if I'm right, is he the only German driver here today? Just when I think about it.
Well, yeah, Pufferice isn't here, VP McGrady isn't here, and Retrex isn't here either, so yes.
It's at home, man. Wants to get on that podium as well, so we're probably looking ahead at this battle and hoping to get involved soon. And flying Finn, by the way, up to P9 now. He's had a fantastic start. And he's carving his way through the field at the moment, just passing Slimbo Dude now. So he's making some strides as well, as is Michael, just as I was saying, like I was building. It's now DRS! So yeah, that didn't last long, did it? The medium pilot, fastest man on the track right now. He's going to be catching this, and I can't say I was expecting that.
Yeah, obviously, as we said before, the Ultra Softs are gonna degrade rather quickly, and now is the moment for Alper to, I mean, really just let everyone else pass, I would say, and just try to leech off some slipstream and some DRS maybe. That's the best Alper can do right now, because his tires are dead shot, and he needs to somehow save some ERS, save some... maybe some fuel, I don't know. No, fuel's looking good on him. He hasn't underfueled the car, but he needs to save some ERS and then go into the pits and just get some new tires. Maybe at the end of this lap, actually. That might be the best call for him strategically, as he is losing a lot of time.
Riding on board, he looks so just unable to put the throttle down.
Yeah, he's very hesitant.
Yeah. I think he will pit, because he's just struggling a lot. Nap stays out.
No.
That's costing him a lot.
I think there was someone on the radio saying in, and then no, stay out. I think that was what's happening, and so maybe he was a little bit confused and he stayed out. But I think he's gonna come into the pits at the end of this lap. I'm pretty sure.
I think he's more just thinking about the life. The life of the medium. Strategically, oh, he's lost it almost there. Wow.
Well, yeah. Looked also like a bit of a connection issue, but
yeah, he has a connection issue. Look, yeah, he's glitching about a bit.
Yeah. But if I was in charge of his strategy, which I'm not, but if I was, I would say he made a bad strategy call there. I would have brought him in into the pits at the end of lap 4, not lap 5 or 6, but lap 4. I think he's taken these ultra soft tires a bit too long. They're losing him too much time. And he would have been better served if he takes the softs just one lap longer each stint. 15 instead of 14. But hey, I'm pretty sure he tested out the strategies and he made the call, and now he comes into the pits. You can see he takes a different line there through the penultimate corner and comes into the pits. No speeding. Yes, he managed to get the speed limiter in and not speed in the pit lane. Very important here, as that would give you a 5-second penalty, stop and go penalty. that he would have to serve at the next pit stop, and he does need to make another pit stop as he goes on to the mediums. That is interesting.
Oh, Lakitu very close to DRS down the inside. The whole man going for the podium. And he's got it for now. I think Matt's going to have a good exit. He had a little bit of a touch on the side, but they're still going to go side by side. And who's going to come out on top here? I think Lakitu will have the inside line again, so he should get this. And he does. So Lakitu up into the podium places.
And I have to say, I am a bit confused as to why Alper puts on the mediums and not the softs. That is a very unusual strategy. I would have gone for ultra soft, soft, soft. That is what I would have expected, but maybe he can't make the... But he made the ultra softs work for 6 laps, so... I mean, obviously not the best, not in their best situation, but I don't really understand that strategy call. You only need to take the softs for 14 laps, in fact. Not even 15, 14 laps, and that is definitely manageable. So I am a bit confused here. I think that is not a good strategy call on Alper's part, and well, he might have thrown away the whole race with it. Well, because maybe now he's on the mediums, whereas other people are on the softs.
Yeah, but if he was on the softs, really, would he be able to make that pit stop back up? I don't think he would.
I think he would. It would be a better strategy at least than going on to the mediums and then maybe going the softs for the final stint.
Well, no, I think he'll go to the ends. I think he's okay to go to the end, to be honest. I think if he can just...
No, ultra soft to medium is not going to happen, trust me. This is not going to happen. I would be surprised to see him go to the end.
I don't think he's really given himself any more choices than that, to be honest. I think he sort of locked himself in that strategy now. Anyway,
we're talking about 28 laps. If anything, you know what? If anything, what I'm thinking, what he might do is go mediums and then for the final stint ultra soft again. That would be interesting. Then try to overtake as many drivers as possible.
Just gonna point out, medium pilot is just so close to DRS here on Michael. He certainly looks to have the pace here today, doesn't he? He was very quick at getting past Matt. And he's now on a charge against Michael.
Yes, but he didn't get DRS for the Parabolica here, so he's going to have to be a little bit more patient and wait for the next DRS zone, which is not going to be out of this hairpin, which I never really understood why you wouldn't put a DRS zone here, but okay. But no, the next DRS zone is going to be on the start-finish straight, so he's going to have to make some gains here into that, what I like to call the infield section, which is a very tight and twisty section. A lot of corners, not many straights, not long straights. And he's going to have to make some gains here. And he kind of does. He was just under a second there for a bit. And now he's back up over a second. Now he's down under a second again. If he can get it under a second at the detection zone, he does have the DRS. So now it's just being sucked along by the DRS into the slipstream of VJ Michael, and oh, look at how close he is now, 7/10.
You need about 4/10 the gap really coming out of here if you want to really make the move stick. But we'll see what the closest bit's like. But he'll be very close.
He's just gonna get closer here.
Yeah, he will be very close, but just not close enough. I think.
And you know what? I put this down to a phenomenon that I see very often with race drivers. The moment you can see the opponent in front of you.
Out of the race.
Yeah.
Oh, a spinner! I think as well.
Unfortunate.
No, flying fin off the road. I don't know what he's done there, but he's down into 14th. Still falling down. He must have been edged off wide or something. But he's what's he doing? He's
still waiting.
He's an AI. Yeah, he's retiring.
No, he has retired from the session, yeah.
Yeah. Side by side for P14. Each making his way still back up the field. Round the outside on J. This be some maybe he can pull it off. Oh.
Yes, what I was trying to say, by the way.
Oh, Teddy gave it as well. Sorry.
Oh. No problem.
Very close to death. My God, they're running side by side through there. My God, And they're still going for it into the last turn, but we have to go away from that, because look at this. A move for the lead is about to happen, I think. He's got that 4/10 I said he might need. And Medium Pilot is closing on Michael. Will he go for it here? Will he wait? Let's find out. He's closing.
Michael is in overtake mode, though. Michael has defended in overtake mode, and he is almost out of ERS, out of battery. But they both are.
Yeah.
Both Michael and Medium Pilot almost completely drained. What I would do if I was Medium Pilot right now, just stick it in behind Michael and just wait. Just ERS on low or none.
Look how close he is. He's got
medium
so much
on the yeah, medium on the straights. Just let yourself be dragged along. You see that he's on 0 now. He's on no ERS deployment whatsoever. Now he raises it to 2. I don't understand why. I do not understand why you would increase the ERS deployment here in this infield. What I've done, and
I think there was desync there. They hit each other on desync, and into the lead goes Medium Pilot, and into the pits
and Michael
comes
goes
Michael.
into the pits at lap 10.
For mediums, they'll go to the end from there. No
24 laps on the No. This is not an optimal strategy at all. He does go on the mediums, but
23 laps on them.
Kidding me?
Officer into the pits as well. Got Ollie and Alice Killer.
That is a huge disparity between the softs and the mediums. Usually you don't try to make the mediums last double the time of the softs. That is uncommon. That is very uncommon. But okay.
Gives Alpha some
seems
hope.
like Michael is going for the undercut here. Then he decided maybe after the desync collision that it would be a good time to just come into the pits. And yeah, but what I wanted to say about the ERS is what I've done here when I raced on this track is basically as soon as you break into the Mercedes arena, into turn, what is that, turn 8? Yes, into turn 8, just ERS to none until you come out of the final turn. Just the whole section, turn 8, 9, 10, the short straight there, and then the whole infield, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the whole section there. No ERS deployment, and then the rest of the track, start-finish straight, the straight between turn 1 and 2, the parabolica, and out of the hairpin into the Mercedes arena. A high ERS deployment, not overtake, that would drain the battery too much, but high. And you use about as much ERS as you harvest. And you don't need any ERS in the slow section. Why would you? You don't lose too much if you don't use any ERS there. So right now what I would do if I was Medium Pilot is ERS on, because he needs to regain some of that battery.
Medium
ERS
Pilot,
on the straights
he's losing
onto
lots of
medium.
time now.
Yeah, because the tires are done, I would guess.
I think Michael is going to regain this lead.
Most likely, yes. With the undercut, obviously, that seems to be the case.
Maybe,
but, yeah.
I don't know, really.
And Michael has no traffic. Look at this. Michael has 4 seconds to the car ahead of him, Dutch Tricks, as Medium Pilot comes into the pits now at the end of lap 13. As does Lakitu and Zach and Shadow, and no, Cliffy stays out, as do JB and Tom Killer and Slimbo, and
Cliffy,
obviously Dutch Tricks.
Cliffy had no choice there but to stay out.
Why?
Clippy and Medium Pilot are teammates. It wouldn't work out too well, would it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Michael.
That took me a bit there.
Michael in the lead, well, the net lead, and Jay challenging Medium Pilot. That could get in his way a bit, but luckily it didn't. And so the gap is 2 seconds there, and Simbo dude.
It's not over. It's not over. XJ has DRS now.
Look at this fight for P2 though. Tom Killer versus Simbo
he's not attacking.
JB.
He's not attacking. XJ is not attacking. He was in no ERS deployment the whole time. He wasn't even trying to go for a move.
Darn the inside he goes for P2. And this is going to get in Dutch Trick's way, maybe, if he catches up anytime soon. He's going for the longer strategy, so it depends how long these two stay out. Michael will catch his teammates soon as well, so that will also cause a bit of an issue.
I'm pretty sure they've talked about this before the stream, or before the race, rather. So there's not going to be any issue.
Just going to point this out. Look who was able to jump Lakitu and all that. and stay in what's the net third? Alper. And if he can go to the end, which I think he can, possibly, then yeah, he's a good.
I would be surprised to see that as Tom Killer and JB come into the pits, and Cliffy and Slimbo take the softs a lot longer. 15 laps at the very least if they come into the pits at the end of this lap. They might go even longer. We'll have to wait and see. But we are nearing half time of the race, and therefore the season as well, because this is the 11th of 21 races. So as soon as lap 17 is done, we are halfway through the season.
And hopefully that's where it all goes wrong for Mike. Anyway, let's see what Alper is up to, because I'm sure he'll have a lot of trouble behind him. As you can see, there's a huge strain being made, and I imagine
you have to remember his tires are at least 5 laps older than the tires of everyone behind him. 7 laps to Lakitu, 6 laps to Matt, 7 laps to Zach, 5 laps to Ollie,
crucially
7 laps to Shadow.
Crucially, they are newer than Jay's, so you might catch them, actually. You might catch Jay, and that would help.
He might, but he is under pressure from behind, so I'm pretty sure he's not thinking too much about Jay right now, as... Well, he can see him, but barely.
Yeah.
Whereas Lakitu is all over his rearview mirror. Oh, it almost runs into him. A little lock up here from Lakitu, and he almost runs into the back of Alper.
Matt's gonna have a great run here on Lakitu.
Oh. They're both gonna have a great run on Alper, I think.
Yeah, this concludes up quite a lot. Riding outside, and now back to the inside. What a dummy! What a dummy! He goes for the 2 of them, and he gets the 2 of them. On the exit, though, Alper's gonna come back and looking for Lakitu as well. This could get pretty dicey. As I head through turn 7. And now to turn 8. Who's going to come out on top here?
How late can Matt brake? That is insane.
Oh, just about gets the place. Nicely done.
Matt on the brakes seems to be an absolute monster. He braked so late into the hairpin.
Oh,
and
down the inside.
Here's the move.
Wow. Lakitu take a bow as well. What a great couple of moves.
I think ballsy is about the right word for this. Sending it down the inside in the Sachs corner. That is something else for sure. Wow. And so both of them, Matt and Lakitu, have dispatched of Alper already, and they're now chasing after XJ, who's still on the medium tires. 16 laps old. 17th lap has just started, and again at the end of this lap we are halfway through the season, so we can already look forward to the sack.
He smacked into the back there of Alper and sent them both into the side of Lakitu, and that was very clumsy driving there, but he did get the pass done, so yay. Oh, back down the inside! Oh, he's went for that, and he's, well, I feel
that and Lakitu says, you know what, you two fight, I'm just not gonna bother.
Oh, free abreast, oh no! Oh, Jesus.
And I have to say, to me, as Kalik
vengeance, I think,
retires from the race,
bit of vengeance.
that to me looked like kind of a revenge move here by Alper. After Zach sent it, he sends it into the Mercedes arena. I'll leave that one to the stewards. I'm not going to make a judgment call here. The stewards are the ones who have to decide what is going to happen with that scenario. Race incident, penalties. They're gonna be the ones to decide what is happening. Whoa.
Dutch Tricks took us into the second half of the season, and Michael straight away took control. Oh well, he got his moment.
Isn't that what the whole first half of the season already looked like?
Yeah, since rather
Michael just immediately, maybe first lap, someone else leading. Michael's like, nope, come here, I'm first now.
Yeah. Okay, you've had your moment, now go away.
Yeah, and But honestly, perfect that he took it away from his teammate in this instance. Ferrari and especially VJ Michael just absolutely dominating first half of the season, and now the second half apparently as well.
Yeah, oh well.
So that was to be expected though.
Now Jay pits after just 17 laps on these mediums, which is a bit early.
18.
Oh yes, 18, of course.
But yeah,
Ollie,
16 laps on the softs are gonna
Ollie
be
has had an accident on the last corner on the main street. You can see his car is hat into the wall there, just before the DRS sign. He's out of this race. Alper into the pits, so I wonder if that was an incident with him or something beforehand. I don't know what's happened there.
He goes on the softs because he doesn't have any more mediums.
He's changed his
put
front
on,
wing.
so
Changing his front wing, so there must be some contact going on there. Maybe
I
that's.
would assume.
Yeah,
I would assume that was the incident with Zach.
Yeah,
because he banged into the side of Zach so hard.
Here's Jake on the inside of Zach. Can he get that one done on the inside? Which turns to the outside, which turns to the inside. We'll see how this one works out. And that is a very well executed move. Very well executed move.
The outside is. It's not over. Don't try. Not this corner. Turn 11 is not an overtaking spot here.
Yeah.
And anywhere else, I would say, look, if you can make it happen,
Michael is losing heaps of time here. We're seeing the medium pilot absolutely flying. He's just at the fastest out of the race on 6-lap old mediums. He is absolutely going for this here. And I can sense a victory coming for medium pilot today, not Michael. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it's looking very good. He's not using his DRS. He's got DRS, but he's not using it. Is he using it on your screen, or has he got a DRS failure?
No, he doesn't have DRS on my screen.
Oh, it says on my screen he had it. Curious.
Well, he didn't have it on my screen.
What a game.
Yes, esports ready.
Yep.
But I want to take you back to the start of the season, since we are starting the second half now. Start of the first half of the season. VGA Michael won in Australia. Guess who came second?
Was it medium pilot?
It was medium pilot.
Wow.
These two have some history, going back all the way to the first race of the season, and here they meet again in Germany.
Such a good battle as well. So tense.
The question is, can medium pilot get some revenge for missing out on his first win of the season in Australia and get his first win here?
Oh, I'm sure he will, because the gap's only 6/10. It is the devil's number, 666.
But you have to be smart about this now. You have to play this very strategically. You can't just go all guns blazing and try to get past.
That's exactly what he's going to do, though. Look at the closing speed. He looks for it.
He was on overtake mode, and that was not smart because you had no chance to overtake anyway. Let the slipstream and the DRS drag you along. Let Michael deplete his battery and fill your own battery, and then next time you're a lot closer, 3/10, 2/10, and then you can throw the kitchen sink at it. Slipstream, DRS, rich mixture, ERS on overtake, everything, and go for the overtake. But to deplete your battery in a situation where you cannot overtake is not a smart move. It harms you in the long run, and it doesn't gain you anything in the short run.
Well, what it has done, this has left him only 4/10 away from Michael at the start of this lap.
He would have been. He was 2/10 behind, and he lost a little bit because of the dirty air in the infield section.
Well, here we go. Medium pilot.
If anything,
It's only 3/10
now.
So here we go.
3 to 4/10, yeah.
DRS as he heads down, and I think this is going to be the move. He's closing.
No.
Overtake. No. Will he go for it? Michael defends to the inside. It's going to be the outside, which turns back to the inside.
Oh, and there's a little bit of front wing damage on medium pilot now as he bangs into the rear of Michael, and that is going to harm him massively. And I think we might have just seen the decider for this race.
Genuinely got behind
medium pilot.
I can't believe he's just done that.
Yeah, medium pilot's speed is now, his pace is now seriously harmed he lost almost a second since that impact, and that was only half a lap. He was probably going to come into the pits to change the front wing. No, he's staying out, but that is definitely going to hurt him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him fall down probably to... He's in the long run, he's going to fall down to at least P4, maybe P7 even. Because there is this huge group between Lakitu, Shadow, Zach, and JB, who are just, well, less than 3/10 between each other. And he's going to fall into the claws of that group at some point. He's going to fall into the claws of Matt within, I would say, the next 6-7 laps. He's losing so much time. This is heartbreaking to see.
Well,
but this is what I meant when I said you have to play this strategically, and he did not do that. He wanted to throw the kitchen sink at it immediately when his battery was almost not charged at all. It was very, very low, which is never a good situation to overtake because you're immediately vulnerable because your ERS is low. And so you can't defend if the other driver tries to re-overtake you. And then the mistake, I would say, of running into the back of Michael there in the hairpin.
Well,
just so heartbreaking for Medium Pilot.
I don't want to call it a rookie mistake, but it was... it's just a mistake you shouldn't be making when you're fighting for the lead. It's really heartbreaking to see it happen, but he should have been more.
And you know what? I've been very vocal about this on Twitter recently. I think we've just seen a perfect example of why sim racing games and well, not sim racing games, not the games themselves, but sim racing drivers need a sim race engineer, because the engineer would tell him, keep calm, do this, do that, don't overdrive, you know, stuff like that, where the driver might not be the best judge, as he's just looking to overtake, and he might be, you know, a bit hot-headed or something like that, and an engineer who sits in his ear who says, you know what, maybe save some fuel right now, or save battery, stuff like that. Someone who just constantly reminds you if you're doing something wrong, or if you forget to do something, like an extra layer. The real life Formula One has race engineers. Why not sim racing? I think we've seen a perfect example right here. And I expect sim race engineers to be common in sim racing within the next 5 years.
Well, personally, it's a shame to see that happen, but we still do have a race on for P4. I just think Medium Pilot...
We have a lot of races on.
Medium Pilot, he was thinking too much about the exit of the corner, not the entry. And here's Shadow, or Jake, going for the entry and getting it done on the entry. And the exit, he'll pull away into P4. Can he now challenge Matt? Can he get out the road and find himself on the podium?
Lakitu is still right behind him. But no, big lock up here from Shadow. You see the smoke arise as if a new pope was elected.
Huh.
But he stays in front. But that was not good for the tire, I can tell you that. That was not good for the front left tire. And the front left tire is the tire that is being used the most here, as it is a clockwise track.
So, we are currently on lap 26. It's Michael in the lead. Medium Pilot, he should hold on to P2 with no real issues. Although I do need to check something very quickly. I think Medium Pilot has got one penalty, and I think Michael's got one penalty as well.
I can check this for you if you don't need to do that. But yes, Medium Pilot does have a penalty.
They all have a penalty, the top three.
As does VJ Michael, as does Matt. Yes, they all have a penalty. ILR Shadow does not. Only one warning, in fact. He can even get a second warning.
So he's on the podium then at the moment. Oh, Lakitu looked like he was going to go straight to the back there for a second.
Two penalties for Lakitu. 2 penalties for Lakitu. 1 for Zach. Oh my. JB is collecting the penalties. He's got 4.
Oh
He's got
dear.
4.
How do you even manage that?
Jeez. Alice Killer has 3. Dutch Tricks has 2. We're getting down here. Cliffy's got 2. And Alper has 1. Tom Killer has 1. Yeet has 2. And the rest is already retired. Jay, Ollie, yeah, they're already retired. So that is the penalty situation right now. JB in a very bad situation there.
Matt just got
with
another
4
one.
penalties.
Matt just got another one.
Oh, so Matt with 2 now. Michael and Medium Pilot with 1 each. So
Jake is
Medium
absolutely
Pilot looks
punching the air.
Looks
here.
good.
Shadow Jake is punching the air. He's going to be on the podium at the moment, as long as he doesn't bin it, of course. Here comes Lakitu right on the outside. Doesn't really matter if he gets back past now, but you know, he'll want to get it.
It does matter. It does matter because Shadow needs to stay within that 3-second gap of Matt. And, well, if you have Lakitu overtaking you, that's going to make it harder. If you're battling, you lose time to everyone else around you. So that means he could easily drop out of that 3-second window to Matt. I would be a little bit worried here. I would, if I was Shadow, I would try to catch up to Matt. But for one, because obviously Shadow doesn't know that Matt has 2 penalties now.
Oh,
that's the first thing.
JB off the track there. Gets back on. Bit of a mistake there from the Mercedes driver. And then cutting some corners to catch back up. And now he's got a great chance at sack. What a tactic. He's going up the inside. He doesn't quite make it work, but yeah.
5 seconds for gaining an advantage, I'm going to say to that.
Yeah. It looked a bit questionable to be honest, but he's got a serious run here.
JB pulling the Alonso tactic. My.
Right round the outside. He's gonna do it, you know. Off into P6.
He's got it, yep.
Oh my god. Well, that's how you take the lead of that battle. Just go off the track and just do that. Fair enough. I mean, he's got loads of penalties anyway, so I think he'll fall down.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that was... However, I think technically, considering that he really gained an advantage because of it, I think the stewards might be inclined to still give another 5-second penalty on top of the result at the end of the race.
I just think it's even going to be in the points.
I'm not a steward. I'm not telling them
rate.
what to do. I'm just saying it would be. I think they are inclined to do that. They're not. You can't just let something like that slide, really. This is exactly like Alonso was like, oh, I braked too late. I'm sorry. I braked a little too late. Nope, 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, here's a...
If you gain an advantage, there's just no chance to justify that.
Dutch Tricks is on the back of Alice Killer, looking to get up to P8. And on the better tires, he does so. So, yippee for him.
Yeah, gaining some more points for Ferrari. I mean, obviously, Michael is doing the heavy lifting here, but
interesting,
getting
medium
some support.
pilot is starting to catch again a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Oh, forget that.
It's 4 seconds. Yeah,
You
can't. No. You can't just look at the mini sectors. That is no. Now you have to look at the big picture here. Slight decreases of the gap from 4.2 to 4.1 do not matter.
It was in 3.9 though.
See, now he's up to 4.4.
It's a 3.9
so there's just no point in the mini sectors apart from, oh, he took that one corner a little bit better, or oh, he got a better exit out of that corner onto a long straight or something like that. But there's no point just being like, oh, he gains in that one mini sector, therefore he's catching up. No. No, medium pilot
looks for the inside. Oh, look at that. Down the inside, there's lots of contact. And Byrne gets by the 2 of them on the exit. I think Jake should have that. No, ignore that. He doesn't. Oh, dear.
Oh, there's almost contact between Lakitu and Shadow. It's getting close out here,
Oh,
but
man.
they find an order ultimately.
They were all catch. Oh, wow!
Oh,
Jake! Calm it, man! Don't bottle this! Oh, that's a bit dirty! Oh, he's
yeah,
really...
Shadow sent him wide there. Just let him
Let him do that all himself there, maybe. It wasn't a move that was on, really, was it? But...
Yeah, if you make a mistake out of turn 10, you try to defend turn 11. Maybe it's better to fight another day instead of trying to push off the opponent. Just,
Jake has went from having a podium position in his hand on that lap to now not having it in his hand. Oh dear. Rip.
Yeah, he might. No, he's too far away from JB now. Over second, he goes defensive against Zach, who's trying it around the outside. He gets it done. He does get it done.
Oh no.
A little contact there on the rear, but no front wing damage for Shadow, and Zach stays in P5. But it's not a... Oh, no, okay, he does...
Oh,
it looked for a second...
Oh, for God's sake,
yep.
Jake. Oh, I'm gonna bill you so much later for this.
With Lakita here. These two are still going hammer and tongue. But this time Shadow says... or this time Lakita says, you know what, I'm not gonna let you push me off again. Here, have the position for now. This corner... I don't even want to try it.
I am gonna bully you so much later for this, Jake. This is horrific.
Oh my. Oh my, when the commentator threatens the driver. Oh. Jeez.
In ILR, he is so known for bottling stuff. Oh, you bottled it again. No.
Maybe it is time to change his name from ILR Shadow to ILR Bottle Job.
Oh dear. Well,
just
here's
a suggestion there.
Lakita goes for it, and look how close he's getting. Oh wow, look at the defense. He's right to the inside there, almost into the grass, and hitting him a little bit into the turn. He is desperate not to lose this place, and well, fair enough, he isn't losing it yet, but he probably will, because Dutch Strixon's coming, and he'll probably get the two of them, because he's on better tires, I think. Although they are going to die soon, and he's only got 3 laps, so I don't know if he'll catch actually, but we'll see. It depends how much they go for it. But yeah, so that would mean that Zach, I think, if he can gain another 10 for 2, should be on the podium. I think he's only got 1 penalty, hasn't he? And Matt's got 2.
Indeed. No, he picked up a second one just a lap ago.
Led.
Zach picked up a second penalty just a lap ago.
Does anyone else want to bottle the podium today?
I think oh no, Shadow has a penalty now too.
Yeah, like I said, they're all bottling it.
Lakita has 2. Jeez, they're actually all bottling it. Dutch Tricks, that is interesting. Dutch Tricks has picked up 2 penalties in the first 10 laps. The last warning he received, lap 12. Since then, not an incident.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, that's enough. No more, no more bottling it.
They really are.
It took him 2 penalties and 2 more warnings.
Basically, everyone down to
it.
practically 9th. What's Alice Killer got? Has he got any penalties?
Alice Killer?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
He bottled it too. So they're all bottling this podium. Honestly, everyone down to 9th genuinely could have had a podium with how close they all are.
They all don't want it. They're like, okay, I'll take 4. I'll take P5. A podium? Nah, I don't want it.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, Alper, you bottled it too. Yeah, he bottled it too, didn't he? With a strategy. Oh dear. Not even gonna score.
Not exactly with the strategy, but with the move on Zach, with the revenge move on Zach. That's when he bottled it and lost part of his front wing.
What the Formula bottle? It appears to be. No one wants the podium.
You know who
Medium
didn't
Pilot
bottle
bottled
it?
the win. Medium Pilot didn't bottle the win. He would have been there as well. But yeah, Michael didn't bottle it. He's in the lead.
Yeah, Michael didn't bottle it. Michael was the only one who didn't bottle it.
Oh dear. They literally
As
all bottled it, didn't
I would
they?
say.
Only Michael and Matt haven't bottled something today. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, yeah.
Very, very scrappy race,
Yeah.
all in all.
Well, final sector
And
then for Michael.
and can
Lucky
I
to you,
just say,
pleb.
looking forward? Can I just say, looking forward next week, Hungaroring,
Oh dear.
Hungary. That's gonna be even scrappier, I fear, because there's no spot to overtake. As Michael goes a little bit wide into the final turn,
But he
or
wins the
out
race
of.
anyway.
But he
Michael
does
then.
win the race, yes. And medium pilot comes second. And the penalties aren't going to influence this too much as Matt comes into P3. This might be it. JB, he's going to drop a long way down. And Matt stays in third place
Oh
even
my
after
God.
penalties. Shadow just missing out 6/10
What a bottle bird.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
Alper,
toxic, man.
Alper's off into Narnia. Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
man.
Yeah, he did bottle it. Look, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh my.
he bottled it as well. Look, he's a ghost. God damn.
But yeah, the result, VJ Michael
Has
wins
Alper got a puncture?
the.
I think Alper might have had a puncture there, you know. Rear left looks to be punctured, I think.
I would have loved to just go on with the results, but okay. But yeah, VJ Michael wins once again, just increases his point tally to 230 points after just 11 races. 230 out of a maximum 275. Let's do the math, you know? That's 83.6% of all potential points that he could have gotten. That's not a lot of mistakes that he's made. And remember, he didn't even start in France. He wasn't even there for that race. So really, he got 230 out of 250 possible points. Because he didn't even attend the French Grand Prix. He only lost himself 20 points in now 10 races. Again, he wasn't there in France. That's insane. That's getting 23 points a race.
Yeah,
on average.
This is ridiculous, isn't it?
We need to find him some, I don't know, some other league maybe where, you know, I don't know, maybe we need to sign him up for F1 esports or something.
Yeah.
Next season, because he doesn't fit in here.
He just doesn't, does he?
Like among all these humans, an alien is always gonna stand out. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, we were saying earlier that we predicted that Michael's going to hit the league, or not league, the title in Italy in front of his home fans.
I'm still gonna say it's Singapore, but I think after this one, since Cesar Leon wasn't here, Zach didn't score a lot of points. Cliffy didn't score a lot of points. Matt got at least 15, but Matt only has 50, so he's now at 65. So he's still in 5th place. So you know what? I think Italy is actually on the cards.
Yeah.
Because he just gained another. Where did Zach finish?
I don't know, 5th, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I
think 5th
it was
or
like
6th.
a minute ago, but I've already forgotten.
Yeah, because it was so chaotic as well. But let's say he was 5th, so he gets another 10 points. So he's at 87. Michael's at 230. So that's a gap of 143 points, and Michael only needs to increase his gap to 175. So he needs to gain on Zach another, what is that then? 32 points. Yeah, 32 points. That's a win and 6th. A win and a 6th place. Or 2 wins for Michael. Well, 3 races. So 3 wins for Michael and 3 4th places for Zach. And Michael is champion in Italy. That's just insane. That is realistic because, I mean, Zach today got 5th or 6th. So that is realistic. If he finishes 4th the next 3 races, Michael just wins and wins and wins as he always does. He's won the last 7 races in a row where he started. 7 in a row where he started in ERL. Yeah, I mean, I have no words for him. Seriously, I have no words for him.
He's an alien.
He really is. He really is. But we are going to be back next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's going to be very exciting because overtaking on that track is always off the charts. If you hear the sarcasm in my voice, that's because there was a lot of it in it. But
Ha
it's
ha
going to be a
ha
very
ha.
strategic race, I can tell you that. As always, it's going to be a very strategic race.
Or it could be wet. Ooh,
And,
ooh.
ooh, that would make it very interesting. We
Yes.
didn't have a single wet race this season. What is going on? We need a wet race. Please. Just for once. Hungary would be perfect for it. But yeah, we're going to be back next week. The final race, by the way, the Hungarian Grand Prix is the final race before the
The quit.
Christmas. The Quitmas.
The Christmas. The Christmas.
The Christmas break. I need to learn to speak again, maybe. And so after the Hungarian Grand Prix, ERL is going to take a break of, what is that, 3 weeks, right?
Oh lordy.
Yeah. 3 weeks until we're back in 2019, the 5th of January, with the Belgian Grand Prix. What a race that's going to be. Always making for good racing. So Hungarian Grand Prix, final race of 2018. Make sure you tune in next week, Saturday, December 15th, 5 p.m. UK time.
Oh
We'll
no.
see you there.
Just realized I'm gonna miss Formula E, aren't I? For God's sake. Oh no.
Don't
I've been
don't
looking
say
forward
that
to
on the
that.
air.
No. I mean, yeah. Woohoo.
ERL, yay!
Michael, dominant. Yay.
But yes, thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week, and goodbye.
Yeah, safe travels, ladies and gentlemen.